Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another video. So as you can see, I'm already finished prepping and let's jump right in the application. So on this pinky finger, I'm going to be doing a ombre nail. So what I'm going to do is place my first bead right where the tip and the natural nail meets. And whenever I'm doing a ombre, I always try to go for a softer white because that gives my ombre a natural and a softer look, and the transition is so much like it's way smoother. So I always opt for like a softer white instead of using the very bright white. Like, to me, the bright white makes the ombre look super fake, so I always go for a softer white. So now I'm going in with my pink and I place that right in the cuticle area. And whenever I flush my bead, like the pink in the white, I always try to do so while the bead is still wet. That way my transition is going to be nice and smooth. If you wait until the bead is too dry, then the transition, you can see the streaks and all that stuff. So you want to try and make sure when you're doing the ombre, you try to work on the wet side. So this acrylic, guys, this is one of my new colors. It's called Final Kiss, super buttery. I just want you guys throughout the video look at that consistency. These acrylics are the best on the market, and I have some great news because these products are going to be launching soon, and I'm going to be doing a big sale. So they're going to be like 50 or 40% off on the first few days when I launch them, and I'm also going to be doing a pre-order, so stay tuned. I'm definitely telling you guys, make sure you go ahead and get these acrylics. Y'all see, this is one of them, so no need to say no more because I got it good. Like, I have the best on the market. End the story, hands down. Okay, so with all that said, let's finish up with the video. So for the ring finger, I'm going to place this bead right where the tip and the natural nail meets. And whenever I'm working my acrylic, I'm just giving this very light strokes and light tapping. You don't want to overwork your acrylic because then you can just end up making a mess. So whenever you're doing your application, just try not to overwork your bead, because usually when you place your bead down, the bead already starts to self-level and do its own work, and all you really need to do is guide it and making sure that you're cleaning up your sides and keeping your shape. Whenever I apply my cuticle bead, I never apply it exactly like in the cuticles. I do it just above the cuticle, then I let the acrylic takes its place, because you know, like whenever you place your acrylic down, it naturally starts to flow. So if you place this bead exactly in the cuticle area, like on top of the cuticle just up against the skin, sometimes when it overflows, it's going over the skin and too much in the side walls. However, if this ever happens to you, what you need to do is make sure that you use the tip of your brush and you clean your side walls up and your cuticles up. You never want to leave any acrylic on your client's skin or in the cuticles, because this is going to cause lifting and it's going to be very hard for you to remove it whenever you're drilling. So just try to work nice and neat, because this is going to also save you time. Also, whenever I am working, my client's finger is always facing downwards, because the acrylic is going to naturally flow to the tip of the nail. So you want to always make sure that you keep your client's finger at an angle, down, facing down, pointing towards the table, because then the acrylic is going to flow away from the cuticle area, and that's what you want. And like I said, for my cuticle bead, I place it just above the cuticle, give it gentle tap and pushing it back in the cuticle, and then I flush my ombre bead. So what I'm going to do after this is I'm going to come in with my clear and encapsulate my ombre. As you guys know, whenever you do any type of encapsulated design, ombre design, you have to use a clear acrylic. That way you're going to be able to encapsulate your design, so whenever you drill, you're not drilling directly in your ombre. This brush that I'm using is a number 12 Kolinsky brush. I love it. One thing with this brush, it picks up the beads a little bit bigger, so you have to be mindful. Just practice on your liquid to powder ratio and you'll be fine. So this set is a bit on the thicker side because in the past, this client, she breaks her nails very easily. So I always try to give her more apex, and she drives trucks as well. So I always try to give her more apex. So how I do mine, how I work on my clients, I work flexible. If there's someone who's always complaining about their nails breaking, or it depends on their job that they have as well, I will build their nail accordingly. Some people, they just type all day, or stay-at-home moms, they're not doing too much, so I don't build the nail a lot. But I also do have like a standard that I do nails, and also I'm flexible. If it's a case where they continuously break their nails, or they work in warehouses and stuff like that, I build their nails up a little bit more. That way have more support. I highly recommend that you work on your liquid to powder ratio, because once you get your liquid to powder ratio down, you're going to be able to move so much faster and work with more intention. Whenever you're working, whenever you go in your monomer, I know I say this in all my videos, but whenever you go in your monomer, you should already know what size bead you're going to pick up, because that's going to determine how much monomer you keep in your brush. Of course, for a large bead, you're going to keep more monomer, and for a smaller bead, you need less monomer. So don't just go in your monomer and pick up whatever amount of monomer. You need to know what size bead you're going for. That way you could pick up accordingly. So now I'm coming in with my 100 grit hand file, and I'm just making sure that I get my client's nail nice and straight. And you want to make sure that whenever you're doing a square set, you hold your hand file completely straight. And also whenever you're shaping, it's very important for your clients to keep their hands relaxed, because you want to see the direction in which the nail is going. So you always want to make sure you're telling your clients to relax their hands, because you want to see like the shape properly, because sometimes when they make their hands so stiff, the nail is going in one direction, then when it's relaxed, it goes in the opposite. So try to get them to be as relaxed as possible. And also you want to make sure you're working with a hand file that's not dull, because you're going to take so much time with your shaping. So making sure your hand file is nice and new. However, if you're using a new hand file, what you want to do is get a old end file and go over the edges, taking off all that extra sharpness off of it, because then you don't want to slice your clients. Also, whenever you're shaping, don't forget to get underneath the nail as well, because sometimes we continuously shape thinking the problem is at the sides or at the tip, but really we have nail that's hanging below, and we have to clean that up as well, because that reflects on the top as well. So you need to make sure you're getting underneath your sides and the free edge. So you gotta just pay close attention. And one thing that I noticed with doing square, you have to continuously make sure that your hand is not tilting too much like inwards, because then you're going to take the tip of the square in. So make sure whenever you place your file up against the nail, you already see what the shape is going to be looking like. Don't just blindly file. Place the file up against the nail and give that file some nice even, and don't be afraid to put some pressure on the file, because you can't be babysitting the nails. You're not going to get anywhere with that. Also, whenever you're shaping, you want to always make sure that you hold the opposite side of the client's nail. That way you're not moving, or the finger is not flexing too much that you're hurting the client. So just try to use your thumb and help to keep the nail stable. You see how my thumb is always like up, or kind of applying some pressure to the nail. You want to always make sure if the hand file is on the right side, you're supporting with your finger on the left side. So your finger should always be helping you to keep that nail stable. That way you're not hurting your client or putting too much pressure on their nails. As you already know I have to look at the nail from the client's view. This is what they're going to be seeing for the next 3-4 weeks. So you want to make sure that everything is nice and straight, and this view really helps with that. This is the time to fix any mistakes or anything that you might have missed from the other angle. Coming in with my drill at around 19,000 RPMs, I'm going to be drilling the nail using my Pana drill bit. Whenever you're drilling, you want to make sure that your pinky finger is helping to keep you stable. That way you have full control over the drill. You always want to make sure your pinky finger follows you through, because if you do not use your pinky, the drill is going to be rolling all over the place. Whenever I am drilling as well, I hold the bit completely flat against the nail. That way the bit is able to touch like all of the nail, not just some parts. So if you want to get like full connection to the nail, hold your bit completely flat. And also you can use your bit to clean up the free edge if it's too thick or you're trying to make it straight. You always want to make sure that you seal your client's cuticle, because if you do not seal the cuticle, this is going to cause lifting. If you are not comfortable with getting close to the cuticles with your drill bit, what you can do is use your manicure bit in the end to come in and seal the nail. So what I would recommend is go through with your regular bit. By the way, this is a medium bit that I'm using, so you can go over it first and then you come in with your cuticle bit when you're done, and you just use that and seal the cuticles, seeing that the cuticle bit is soft and it doesn't cut the client easily. You do not have to work with your drill on a high speed. You can start off at whatever you're comfortable with and then work your way up. As soon as everything is coming together and you're getting more comfortable, you can work your way up. I always try to make sure I get most of the work done with my drill. That way I do not have a lot of work to do with my hand file after. I'm just gonna go over the shape one more time before I do my design, because as you know, after you're done with your drilling, then it's a possibility that your shape might have shifted. So you always want to make sure that before you do anything else, you double check your shaping and make sure everything is looking nice and neat. The design that we're going to be doing today is pretty simple, timeless design. As you can see, we're already going to be doing ombre. So on the other hand, I'm going to be doing a French look and some swirls. So what I'm going to do is buff the nails, send my clients to wash our hands, and then we're going to proceed with the design. Before you start your design or working with any type of polish, you always want to make sure that your area is free of dust and your client's nail is nice and clean as well. What you can do is make sure whenever you're wiping your client's nail, you're using a lint-free wipes. That way, whenever you come in with your polish, you don't have anything getting in your way, or you can, you know, sometimes you see all that lint on your nail. So just make sure you're using lint-free wipes, and you can also use some swipe or some alcohol to wipe the surface of the nail as well. So as you guys already know how I do my French, I just come from one side, meet in the middle, and then just shade the rest of it in. So I don't do the V's and all that extra stuff. I practice just to do one shot coming from the side, meet in the middle like I said, then coming from the other side and meet in the middle, and then I shade the rest of it. Then I go over it if I feel like I need to fix anything. But I promise you, if you practice just shooting your shot, because remember, you already have your visual of what the French should look like, so you're going with that visual. You know how you want, how skinny you want it to be, you know how wide you want it to be, all that stuff. So whenever you already have the visuals in your head, all you need to do now is focus and take your shot and go for it. So like I said, practice to do it like that, and you're going to thank me later. Just shoot the shot and you'll be all right. I promise you. It's going to just take a few shots and it's going to come right together. But the more you do it is the more you're going to learn your angles. So I would highly recommend that you do your French like that. So as you can see on the middle finger, what I'm going to be doing is just like a small outline on one side, and I'm going to do a swirl going through the middle. This brush is a nail art brush that I have. I found this brush on Amazon. So you definitely want to make sure that you're working with a good nail art brush as well, because that's going to determine how your lines comes out. So that's that for that. I hope you guys hit the like button right now on this video if you haven't liked the video as yet, and make sure you consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't done so as yet. So until next time, see you guys in the next video, and please be on the lookout for my cover collection that's coming soon. And like I said, if you're going for this specific color, it's called Final Kiss, and it's going to be up. But I highly suggest you get in the collection because it's going to be super cheap. And that concludes our video. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. Go on, big up on yourself, and don't forget to hit that like button. So one thing I forget to press record for the top coat, but all I did after this was put the top coat, and that was it. So y'all didn't miss anything. So like I said, thank you guys. See y'all in my next video. Stay blessed. Bye. He's starting to take the credit back.
Yeah,
He's like, girl, the more I listen to you.